All right, we're live. Definitely a little late today. I'm not gonna lie. When I got home, I was feeling great. Oh, I didn't realize I don't think YouTube was fully there, but when I got home, I was feeling great at first. And then I stupidly played video games, and they can just be stressful, man, especially when you don't play them a lot. It's like too much dopamine there. Want to apologize to my brother. He's a little mad. I kind of freaked out in there, definitely out of character. So I'll admit when I was wrong. Got a little more upset with a video game than I'm proud of. But overall, great day today. I did my first stand-up. I posted to TikTok and then it was taking a while, so I'll be posting it kind of after this to Facebook and Instagram. Hopefully the sound's all right. It's windy as heck today. The wind's really been kind of frustrating me, I'm not going to lie, but otherwise a great day. It was like wailing on my signs. I had actually a realtor help me out today, put it back up. Someone else put it back up, but it was still just struggling a little bit, so appreciate the lady for helping out. That was really nice of her. And luckily, we still had a lot of traffic to the open house. But I want to get into kind of the stand-up. Big shout-out to Beyond Me Publishing. I definitely want to kind of rekindle that connection in terms of, doing it again. Maybe doing poetry next time would be cool. But it was a great opportunity. There was a lot of great poets there that I got to meet, get down their info. There's a chance we experience some technical difficulties because this wind is wild right now. You can see the flame kind of going nuts. But that is what it is. So the other shout out was I Am Moody Black. He was one of the most notable people there. He's a great poet. Definitely someone to check out. He is like IamMoodyBlack.com. I actually bought an artwork of his, so he's a poet. But I don't know, when I saw this, I just really liked it, like instantly connected with it. And I was like, I want to have that. And some of his art was like, a couple $100. And I was like, I'll never be able to afford that. But there's something about this piece really cool. I like the yellow. I don't know if the flame's doing justice. Don't want to put it too close to the flame. Looks actually better on Instagram than Facebook, probably because I don't actually know why. But yeah, so pretty cool right here. This is I Am Moody Black. You should check out his website, IamMoodyBlack.com. If you watch the live, you could see that he was often mentioning all his social media handles are IamMoodyBlack.com. I'm actually going to get rid of one thing because I can't see on Facebook right now who's joining. I got like a stupid pop-up. Oh, no one's here anyway, so no big deal there. But yeah, so stand-up went pretty well. Just looking back, reflecting. Should have had more specific pauses, I think, when I write it out next time. Gonna write in where to pause so I know and it's not really new and, unknown. What's actually funny, which I'd never experienced, is sometimes you say a joke and there's a little bit of a pause, a delay, and it doesn't happen right away, the laughs, right? And so you gotta let them have that because they might miss your next joke because they're laughing at the last one. Just kind of gets awkward. Definitely would have been better if I wasn't reading the card. I actually kind of was just reading what was in front of me. Is what it is, can't complain. Not gonna get upset about it by any means. It actually, just full disclosure, wish I prepped more because I essentially, I think you heard all along, I don't think I even had any jokes or even close till Friday. And then it took till Saturday for me to actually start to think of the order. And then I didn't even have them written out. I tried to do it at the open house. It's actually a great problem to have. It was very busy at the open house. But so I wasn't actually able to write the jokes down until 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I was going on, I thought at 4:40, ended up going on at 5. Thinking back, probably would have been good to step outside and try it at least once. But for a dry run, very little practice, I was impressed. I think I got a little bit of taste of how to write punchlines. And I think there's I'm definitely funny, but I think there's times where if I just slow it down, use physical comedy a little bit, I could get some more laughs without really having to try so hard. And so I was nervous as hell, obviously. But overall, I think I did really well. Everyone gave good feedback. Whoa, that right there was the glass. They say it's water in there and sometimes they split, and once they split they're fine, but that was scary sound, I'm not gonna lie. That one over here in my mouth, I don't think that would have been fun. So gotta keep the flame going, but maybe turn it down a little, just slightly, just so it doesn't blow my face off. But yeah, I think it went well. I was really happy to meet all those people there. I want to work with them again. I'm actually planning on doing stand-up this Thursday. There's an open mic at Fresh Brew Coffee, and I was happy to find out actually that Fresh Brew Coffee does a lot of programs to help new owners and stuff like that. I'm actually not as aware of it, but someone had just mentioned that to me, which is interesting. And then I really do want to call out Beyond Me Publishing. LaToya was a great asset. She was very helpful. I think she goes by like Queen. You know, everyone had some great poetry. I really liked the vibe. So I think next time I'd like to come with maybe some poetry. I even think maybe like mixing in poetry with comedy would be interesting. The thing that was kind of cool, or what I became aware of, is like comedy really is a unique art, and I think it is almost more similar to poetry than anything, because there's a lot of funny aspects of poetry. And so I think like in a way a stand-up is almost like in the same way a centro is a type of poem. Like I think comedy in a way is like poetry. At least I thought that for myself. And so that kind of is helpful in the future, just like using the timing, iambic, you know, pentameter. I probably butchered the pronunciation of that, but really just using like the poetry themes and poetry ideas. I can definitely see that Facebook's not loving it right now. Sorry, Facebook people. Hopefully I can kind of give you the Instagram. The Instagram looks a lot cleaner up there, at least. I actually am going to work, or at least ask Toya more, even do some research myself. She was streaming on multiple platforms at the same time. Sounds like you just kind of put it into one platform online, and then that'll kick it out actually to the other one. So that's something to take on. It'd be cool for me, so I don't have to have like 5 different cameras going for YouTube, this and that, which would be nice. Yeah, so I also want to call out my neighbor the other day talked about his dad owning this new art studio, and there seems to be like theater. I definitely want to check it out because I think there could be some value for me. It's called Casey Art Studio, I believe. It's spelled Kayce. It actually stands for like K and C, which is K for Kevin, and I think I'm not sure if it's Casey or what his sister's name is, but that's the C. And yeah, I think it'd be a great opportunity. I've been thinking for a while, there's not a lot of stand-up in Myrtle Beach. Like obviously you have open mics for the poetry and stuff like that. I would love to have a comedy night, maybe do it like weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, especially with the busy season happening. So it'd be good to get that. My idea is to actually get one of those special permits that's for alcohol, and then I'd be able to kind of serve that there, maybe sell a ticket for like $40 each, I don't know, $30 each, and give like 1 free drink, 2 free drinks just as incentive. And ultimately, once they're there and drinking, you're going to sell a whole lot more, right? And so that's kind of the idea, is like get them in there, and then we'll get them selling. If there's anyone who's watching this and wants to help make it happen, it doesn't have to be at that art studio, certainly could be at a bar or somewhere else. I'm just trying to get it done. I think it'd be pretty cool to organize. I would love someone smarter than me or better at organizing than myself to partner with. So, you know, if someone really connects with this, reach out. We'll make it happen. Please don't steal my idea. No, I mean, it's a free country. I'm not gatekeeping. I'd be more than happy to help. Just maybe, you know, take care of me and I'll take care of you kind of thing. Great news kind of moving away from that, but that'll be kind of something in the future weeks or days to talk about. Some event that I'm starting. But I actually got a part, which is awesome. I thought I would hear back Monday. Heard back today, which is awesome. I didn't really want the main part. I know that sounds like, oh, well, it's easy to say now. I was nervous as heck if I got the main part, like would be forgetting lines. Would have been a lot to take on in the next month and a half, especially where I haven't done a play in a long time. But very excited that we start rehearsals next week. I actually got the part of Lucas in it. And I don't have the words in front of me, but Lucas is like a servant of, I think, like the father, like a wealthy father who hires the doctor. I can't even think. His name's like Snag. It's like, I can't even pronounce his name. It's very French. Starts with an S and like has like a weird GN at the beginning. It's like Sagnel or something like that. It's a weird name. But he's the main character that gets mistaken as a doctor. I actually am the servant of the father that hires the doctor. And at one point, the doctor tries to like feel up my wife, I guess, and I get like really upset or kind of fight him or something like that. So I should be bringing the house down with that. Like I'm really, even if I have only 10 lines, like those 10 lines are going to be delivered chef kiss just to perfection. Really want to dig into this. It was exciting. Like it was fun, something cool to do, something that if I was drinking or smoking, I know I wouldn't do. I'd probably talk about it a lot. And, you know, I don't want to be just about the talk. I want to be in action. So really excited for that. As I mentioned, I think it's like March 21st to 24th. If you guys are in the area, if you're from Myrtle, definitely come check it out. It's going to be at like the train depot. Come one of those nights. I'm telling you in advance, you can get your ticket. Bring me flowers. You know, I want those flowers for sure. But jokes aside, you know, people up north, come on down. I'd love to see it. Maybe it'll be streamed. I'll talk to the guy about that. If he's not streaming it, maybe talk to Toya, put them in communication. Maybe she could somehow help make it happen, you know? So I think that'd be cool. I'm sure he would love that and maybe like put a couple bucks on for streaming, and if I can help that out, maybe make a couple bucks. You know, I'm just trying to, not that I'm scheming money by any means, but if I'm taking time and putting effort, might as well get paid a little bit. Everyone here is making money at the end of the day. It actually isn't community theater, which when I first signed up, I just thought it was like, oh, everyone signs up, kind of, you know, I don't know who funds community theater usually, whether it's the town, but that was kind of my initial thought, was that it was community theater. Turns out it's not. Like, I'm an unpaid actor in it, but he does have regulars that he will pay to make it worth their while. So I'm really honored. There's only 11 parts in this play, by the way. So I don't know how many people tried out. Even when I was just there, I saw like 5 people come and go, and I was just in a 30-minute window out of like I want to say like 4 hours to 5 hours worth of auditions. So totally an honor. Really appreciate being picked for this. So, you know, Paul, I know you just kind of requested me. Big shout out to you for taking the leap of faith on me. Really an honor. And it's going to be exciting. You know, like I said, is like the 10 lines I get, I'm going to absolutely deliver to the fullest. And yeah, hopefully I won't ruin it by practicing with you guys, but I'm sure you'll see a little bit of my character over the time, one way or the other. But yeah, I definitely won't ruin it for anyone. The other thing that I'm going to bring up is just my open house. That went so well. The one thing I'm bummed about, and I don't want to be too hard on myself, because I met some great people today, gave my cards out, had good conversation. I wasn't worried, wasn't pushy about getting their number or their info. And that's a little bit of a shame on me. I need to get over that kind of like fear of asking for information. Worst case, they say no. Best case, I can now reach out and start sending them searches and stuff like that. You know, I was telling them that it would be a good idea to email me so that I could then send the searches. But ultimately, you know, oh my God, the wind is going crazy right now. But ultimately, if they don't email me, I'll never actually get in contact with most of them. There's one guy I spent a long time with talking to. Unfortunately, he's kind of between jobs, so he's probably a year or so out. But there's nothing wrong. Like, so I want to set up business for out there. Even if you're not now, it's worth talking. And I sound maybe selfish or, you know, corny. But at the end of the day, I met a good friend. We got to talk about real estate. I know that he's going to reach out to me when he has any real estate questions. He actually owned the place too, so he owns somewhere already. That's a great potential. If he goes to sell it, I'm banking on the fact that he's going to call me. And even if he doesn't, you know, if I haven't fully earned his business yet, that's okay. I'd love to help him out regardless. And yeah, that was really cool. And then there were so many people coming, which is, again, such a good problem to have. And I feel like it always happens when you're like, you got these plans. Like, I was like, oh, I really have to write out my cards today. I hope I can get like 20 minutes downtime. So we got like 6 people came in today. A lot of interest, a lot of neighbors in the area. And this was at Mongolia Point. Somewhere I saw Mongolia Place, but I think that's right next door to it. But where I was, absolutely beautiful. Great investment potential. A lot of people coming in. Might be priced a little high, but I think, you know, it's getting to the right price. And I'm always about, like, if I'm representing you, let's go 90% to 95% of asking. So I think that's doable in there. I'd love to show you if you guys want to see it. There's actually a few other properties in there. Want to shout out Chris Nadelman, a firefighter at Myrtle Beach. He's got a great property as well. It's not facing the golf course, but I'm sure it's priced accordingly. And so worth checking out. If you guys have any questions, definitely reach out. There's short-term allowed in there. Clearly the neighbors love it. Like, I would say 4 out of 5 people that came and that have come by that house are actually neighbors that are looking to either buy another one or kind of move to a golf course view. So the people love it in there. You know, it's a great location. From what I hear, you know, you're quick to go to North Myrtle. You're quick to the beaches. You're rarely any traffic. You kind of fly in and out. You're close to Carolina Forest. So, yeah, definitely worth checking out. Open house was a success. Unfortunately, the door I ran into some issues at the end, but we actually have a locksmith going out. Basically, it wouldn't lock at first, and I'm like, please, God, just let this door lock so I can get to my stand-up routine. And then it did lock, and then unfortunately it wouldn't unlock. And so I wouldn't worry about it as a buyer. It's just something that kind of happened, the mechanism. Could be that the battery's low or something like that. Not totally sure. Easy fix. No problem at all. It's just a lock. I personally actually don't love the lock because of that reason, that it's like you're solely relying on a keypad, right? And like, so if you're ever buying something like that, I would always make sure there's like a manual lock so that if it goes wrong, you can get in and out. Because I was just like, whoa, you know, that's certainly not ideal. But that's not a reason not to buy the house, right? Like, that's going to be a cheap fix, just a locksmith coming out for a little bit. Shouldn't happen again. Not totally sure what happened there. But in terms of open house, overall success, and hoping that I get a couple new buyers out of it. I actually had one guy reach out. He goes to my church, which was awesome. So I know for a fact he's going to be using me. he even said, like, basically he wasn't going to come by. He wasn't really in the market yet. But when he came by, he's glad he did, that we got to meet and talk. I actually got to meet a good friend, or his friend, and potentially someone who's down here already that we can chill with. You know, I'll be his wingman. He also goes to the church as well. So that's cool. I got some kind of new buddies to go to church with. Lately, I've been kind of sitting alone, and then after talking to people and getting to know people. So it'd be good to have some regulars there. The other thing that, you know, a consideration that I didn't want to bring up, and, you know, this is just like my fear of looking bad, and I really don't care of looking bad anymore. It's not really the end of the world for me, but I joined a Bible study, and so the first meeting was last week, and I stupidly missed it, and was kind of hanging out with my dad, watching the football games, and this week I was like, I have to go, absolutely determined to go, and I'm so glad I did. I met, like, such great people. I feel like I talked maybe a little bit too much, not gonna lie there, but no, overall it went well. So it was a good Bible study. A lot of people in there are actually sober like me, which is good. And there's like a Friday, I think it's called sober living or something. I don't know, but basically you go in, if you go in at 6, it's like $5 to eat a meal, which I'm like $5 for a meal and I don't have to cook. Definitely want to check that out. And then they just go over stuff like how to, you know, keep yourself from drinking and stuff like that. And I've just been loving the community. Hey, thanks for joining, everyone. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a good day. I know it's a little bit late, but community is everything to me right now. And I have maybe one more point real quick that I'll get to, but I want to talk about community. You know, there's things that, like, I'm a very sensitive person, obviously. If you know me, you probably know that. And it's just been weird because I've been seeing some of my good friends, like, unfollow me, or I see that, like, oh, add friend, and I'm like, I know I was friends with them before on Instagram or Facebook, and it hurts a little bit, you know, that all I'm really doing is just being positive, trying to promote my business. And if that's like they can't handle that, then that's on them. I actually feel, you know, what I'm telling myself is I do feel bad for them, right? That someone being positive and trying to live a good life is actually, like, harmful to them, that they have to unfollow. There's ways, like, you could actually just, like, hide the content without, you know, unfollowing necessarily. I'd almost rather that. But, you know, they'll come back when the time's right, and just know I love them nonetheless, and try not to take it to heart. Like, even though there was a little bit of like a, oh, that sucks kind of moment, you know, I realize that it's not the right time for them to be hearing these types of things, and when the time's right, they'll hear it, certainly. I was a little upset too, like, no names, and maybe they'll hear this. They probably don't even watch the full video anyways, but you know, my performance was during the football game, so I didn't expect everyone to join it by any means, the live feed that was posted. Also, you don't always see people posting like that. But one of my friends, like, we've always talked about stand-up and stuff like that, and, you know, I sent him the link, and I would have rather almost not hear from him, truthfully, like, just that it was like, oh, I just saw this text now, a couple hours later. Even if he did see it then, like, that ignorance would have been a lot more blissful than him basically just being like, I'm really into the game right now, and I'm like, damn, you know, like, it's not that hard to look. It's not like he had to, like, drive down anywhere or anything like that. And I get it. But yeah, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It was also funny, but kind of a good thing. My dad couldn't even get the stream going. But again, I think I would have been more nervous if he was watching. I told him basically not even come, just so I could kind of get the nerves out that way. I'm be really nervous the first time he shows up. But at the same time, I know he's going to be laughing, clapping, and stuff like that. Overall, huge success. Excited to do stand-up again. I hope that I can kind of start to host an event down here. I actually have a buddy, you know, one buddy that's out there killing it in San Diego. I'd love for him to come visit, so maybe I'll have him headline and kind of bring people in and all that noise. And I'd love to set up a streaming thing where even we just make like $5 on the head, something like that, you know, something easy like that, the gate, just make a couple bucks. The last thing is just been going really hard today and yesterday, probably really for the last like 5 days in a row, I think, definitely since Thursday. And so for myself, like, gonna give myself the day off tomorrow. You know, I'll never do nothing by any means, but I want to sign off at like 5 or 6. I don't want to work late. I'm hanging out with my dad a little bit in the morning. So really overall, like, the message, the theme of this moment is just, you know, give yourself time off. Be easy on yourself. Don't beat yourself up by any means. Beating yourself up is just, you know, it's just that. Like, you're going to feel defeated after. You're going to feel like, oh, what's the point? Things are great. It was overall a great day. Was it perfect? No, not many days are. But there was a lot of moments that were, like, very, very much how I needed them to go. Very appreciative of everything. And I just want to thank everyone for the support. You know, I've had a lot of people reach out. I've had people like the videos, people, you know, listening in, followers, new followers. I know I'm friend requesting people like crazy, maybe even following people like crazy. I just thank you guys for being a part of this experience. You know, I've been loving it. Like, my existence in the past 2 weeks has been great. Like, it really has. And, you know, I was actually at church this morning very early. I don't know why I made that weird brag, but I was there, and they're talking about, like, if you want to let Jesus in your life, you have something you need prayer over, come on down to the front. I went last week. I bawled, honestly. It's just, like, something in it. It was just very touching, very moving, having two complete strangers just pray for you and be genuine. You know, it wasn't like they were phony by any means. You know, some of it's just, it's a little different for me. Kind of reminds me of my sister back in the day. But it's like, there's nothing wrong with them being corny and just loving people and giving that unconditional love. I wish more people would do that. And so it was really deep and meaningful the first time. And then the second time I found myself resisting it. And whenever I find myself resisting things, I always ask, like, why am I so resistant? Maybe that's exactly what I need right now to grow. So I went down again, and they were like, what's wrong? You know, something bad happened? I was like, no, it's honestly been the best couple weeks of my life, but I just want to keep it going. And I think I need it now more than ever, you know. So definitely not forcing religion on anyone. But if you haven't considered it in a while and you're feeling a little lost, I would take it on, at least just show up. You might not even like the one you go to another one, you know, check it out. Like, give it a chance. At the end of the day, like, letting people contribute to you is a gift to them. And ultimately, it's a gift that you end up receiving as well, right? Like, people, you get these new connections, you get these new friendships. And I'm just so grateful. It's sad to say, but in a lot of ways, I feel like the people I've met, even in the last 3 weeks, are closer to me than some of my best friends, you know, in the long run. And that's not everyone. Like, I think people know who I'm close to. But kind of the in-betweeners, the people that I was hanging out with kind of off and on, I don't know, I don't always feel as connected to them, right? And I think part of it is just I'm in a transition, so I'm meeting all these new people, kind of getting new friends. And that doesn't mean my old friends are gone and lost, but I'm just becoming a new person in a way, or at least the person that I want to be. And they can still, there's plenty of room for them if they want to join in. I'm not avoiding them by any means, but I don't know, it's just something different about the relationships I'm making now. I think it's what you call a source relationship. And so a source relationship is when the two of you become like a stronger person in the company of the other, right? And so you're not putting each other down. It could be healthy competition, but it's not a toxic competition. And yeah, I mean, I'm just really grateful. So at the end, just going to say thank God. Thank you guys for listening. God bless. If you don't want to hear that, I'm sorry, but just know that I'm sending love your way. I'm manifesting the best life possible for you, for myself, and for everyone. And, you know, I just really want to shout out the people today that I met. I met a ton of great people. Like, what a day. And I love meeting people. You know, real estate, I love meeting people. And, like, I like putting my neck out there. And so, geez, in the last 2 days, I probably met, like, about 20 people. And I can see a lot of these relationships going pretty far. And so, yeah, just really excited to see what the future brings. Tomorrow's going to be a little bit slower of a day. I will have a big announcement. I'm kind of going to go that route of, like, you know, for every follower, I'm going to do X. And it's not going to be as whack as the other ones are in real estate. I'm going to stick to it because, you know me, if I say something, I'm going to do it. But I'm going to make it like an obtainable goal. And actually, I'll give you kind of the main things is that if I get 1 million followers, I'm going to learn how to do a back handspring. So I'm going to probably like start training around 900,000 and then I'll get it done by 1 million. And then the other thing that I'm trying to do, and this is more a self-challenge and kind of seeing if people will try to see me fail or whatever. But if I'm not able to do a pull-up on my own, unassisted, by the time I reach 1 million followers, God, I'm scared to say it, I'm going to run a half marathon. I think a marathon's too crazy for me. Even a half marathon, like I wanted to say 5K, but I'm like, no one's going to go. For now, it's a half marathon. Followers, you can convince me otherwise, but my goal anyways is to actually do the pull-up beforehand. So joke's on you a little bit, but we'll see. Like if I got 1 million followers, the least of my worries would be doing a mile. I'd love it. I mean, at that point, I'm like, you know, screw it. Let's run that mile, because with 1 million followers, the amount of real estate business I'll be doing, potentially the monetization I'll be getting off social media would be awesome. And so, yeah, I'll get into it, all the details, the nitty gritty, but stay tuned for that. And, you know, when I do that, definitely share it out there. I'm probably, you know, I'll be real with you, people pay for followers and stuff like that. I don't want to pay a whole lot, but I do want to try to get like a couple thousand going, because I think once I have momentum, it'll be good there. I think if you pay for followers, it's fake, but even maybe the advertising instead of paying for followers, like I'd love to promote my stuff and get it out there. And I know I've said it a few times, and I think tomorrow's the day I do it. I want to trim up some of these longer videos, long formatted videos, and start to just like have little chunks that are in smaller pieces, some of the good advice I've given, some of the, you know, events that are happening to me. And I'm just really grateful for everything that happened. So I went probably another like 4 minutes than I meant to. I hope you guys all have a good one. I'm going to say bye to Facebook and bye to Instagram. You guys have a good one. See you tomorrow.